Hey everybody, and welcome back to Resident Evil 5. Some very heartbreaking news. While recording episode 7, 8, and 9, I believe, yes, as well as recording episode 1 and 2 for Resident Evil 6, my audio was not picked up at all, and it is truly heartbreaking. There were some golden moments where me and my brother, goofing off, doing stupid shit. Honestly, there was a point, one episode, I think it was this one, where we we started blowing each other up. He hit me with the stun rod, and I'm like, all right. Turned on him, hit him with the grenade. Then he tried to hit me with the rocket launcher, only to kill himself. Oh no, we then tried to do a rocket launcher duel, and he missed me by an inch, and I hit him directly. And truthfully, it breaks my heart that OBS caught none of the audio. So I'm debating on just cutting down a lot of the parts, speeding up certain parts, cutting out certain parts. Of course, I will be leaving in the cutscenes, but I really think that I'm gonna cut things down. Try to cut things down as much as I can, because it is just exhausting. It is exhausting. It is 2 in the morning, about 2:30. I had to deal with some family matters for about an hour after 11, so I didn't know until about an hour or two ago, and I have just been dreading trying to figure out what I can do next. And I wish I had some sort of backup to the audio, a different recording software that would have captured just the voice audio. That way I could have, added it in afterwards, but I don't. And it does hurt, because I started recording Resident Evil 6 with my youngest brother, and he's been so excited to play that I even told him that
What Irving meant by
yesterday, which was Saturday, the 23rd, I told him that we could,
worry about
me and my brother,
First,
the other brother that I'm recording with, we could knock it out in about 3 to 4 more episodes after episode 8, I believe. And I told him that starting today, 24th, Sunday, that we could start recording Resident Evil 6 due to my brother leaving, going out with my family. Well, to my mother and my other brother. I decided, instead of sitting around not doing anything, I record some Resident Evil 6 with my brother. He was excited. The youngest was so excited. He was happy, cheerful. So, like I said, I'm gonna cut some things, put in some commentary for certain areas, and I'm hoping by the next few episodes I'll have this officially fixed. Not exactly sure what happened. My current setup has been a cluster, and I've been trying to fix things, but with my current unemployment, medical situations, it's been difficult getting any financial stability or support. And I've been trying different things. Job market isn't easy. And I even started a GoFundMe, because I do have a medical situation that has affected me since 2024. And I have done the right things to get better, but the journey has not been easy, and I still struggle. So again, I apologize. I am ranting and rambling a bit. So Yeah, I'll cut back in later on in the video.
They must be processing these flowers to make something.
This is the facility from the picture. No doubt about it.
We're finally getting somewhere.
Hey guys, this area I speeded up a little bit, two times. Here we go back through the beginning area of the liquor section. You know, we get the stuff that I got before. We got to get the stuff that we got before. We push forward, and then we encounter liquors, and we eventually can encounter more of them. Mostly speeding it up because most of there's not much content, like, you know, important like cutscene content here that needs to be seen. It's just, you know, we encounter lickers, fight them, die, get chased, and towards the end of this section that is being sped up, you will see that I restart. My brother complains about wasting the rocket launcher. Like, okay, well, you know what? I don't think it's just wasted. I think it was he wasted. He complained about wasting it, and I complained that we didn't use it properly to kill them all. So, you know, he's like, okay, let's reload. So we try reload. We shoot up. We die. You know, the regular BS that happens when we're playing Resident Evil on Veteran. You know, there's even a point where it's like I see the ghosts, I'm like, oh, let's sacrifice, you know, pagan shit. I say jokingly. So yeah, we head, checking the corners, hoping I don't bump into anything. Here we get the AK, and my brother's like, mine. I'm like, okay, do you have it? And as you soon will see, we keep going. We go up the steps. This is where we encounter, you know, where I see this lever, turn on the light. I thought I was gonna open the door. Like, oh, use your rocket, try to shoot it through the what was it called? The hole. And as you can see, when I use my grenade launcher, you can't even get it through there. kind of interesting because you would think, but it didn't work. I was hoping to get a head start, a drop on these liquors, but it didn't work. So you know, we go forward, and then you know he's running around, which alerts them, and I'm like, oh well, guess we gotta run. Here you'll see that they get stuck on the door. We should have just kept going, but I decided to try to, you know, fight them. I start laughing at them, like, oh look, they're stuck, and then boom, they jump, and then we try to use the stun rod. It just all hell broke loose. It was absolute carnage, and one of the worst ideas possible. So, you know, here I am, just like, that's BS. You know, they were stuck. We should have done good. Or I was like, oh no, I told him you should use the rocket launcher there. You know, get them all. So, I'm over here debating on what to grab, what to buy. You know, the basic Resident Evil stuff. And as we head on, we do, you know, we die a few more times, which it's natural. We're not the brightest of players. And then, as you'll see soon, we also get into our little scuffle of blowing each other up and fighting each other. Here's when I try to shoot the grenade. It's like, it didn't go through. What the world? It kind of felt like that was BS. You know, that it was the perfect size hold, and nothing. So it was like, you know, we said, okay, let's move forward, let's walk, and it's like, oh, I know how to. And I'm like, okay, now we drag them to the door that way. That way they're all bunched up. Yeah, that way didn't work. I later find out, you'll see in the next episode or the episode after that the best round to use on them is the acid round. And you'll see I absolutely bully the hell out of these. But yeah, you know, I'm trying to use the sniper, which kind of frustrates me. You know, you hit them in the forehead 50 times, nothing happens. You think a round from the Dragonov would be enough to, you know, kill them. Plus, it's going directly to their brain. You think an instant lobotomy with a, what could be a 7.62, I think, right? Yeah, 7.62. You would think a 7.62 would put an end to that creature if you drove one directly into its brain. 2 of them at that, you know? If you put 2 of those in my brain, I'm down. I'm going down. There's nothing I can do. Here we were arguing about give me the grenade. I was like, and I gave it back to him, and I'm like, okay. And I was like, I'm just done with life. Then we try, you know, try to bunch him up in the middle. He only kills like 2 with the grenade. This is where he complains, like, oh, we killed them all for what, you know? They only gave us like a heart or 2. And funny enough, even when we killed them all, you'll see that more still spawn. It's kind of hilarious because I was like, where did it come from? I think it came from the vents and stuff, you know, some Among Us imposter stuff. I know, cringe. Here you go, you see me miss every damn shot. Like, let's go back. Yeah, didn't work. Yeah, we were absolutely sitting up, getting our booty holes tongued by those sharp tongues. There was nothing to do. Yeah, as you can see. got to a point where I wasn't even angry anymore. I was more just depressed. It's like, come on, dude. This game cannot be this painful to go through. And it was. Sadly, it was painful to go through in certain sections. But, this time we decide to use 2 rocket launchers, try to take out more than we can, more than we did these past few times. As you'll see, it wasn't really worth it. Handing gun ammo, 2 hearts, some flash grenade, and he's like, "That's all we did this for." This is where the I was like, "Where did this dude come from?" He killed all of them, and this guy came out of nowhere. These guys came out of nowhere. We're a bit like, I was a bit like, this is some bull. But it was all just fun, you know. The game was fun. This section was fun. This game was fun. But he's like, I wasted my rocket launcher for that, and I'm even surprised. When I used to play, all the liquors dropped a heart. But yeah, I'll catch y'all in the next segment. Hey guys, coming back in. Here is where I don't exactly remember what he said, and I turned on him, and as you can see, he misses me, and I hit him directly with the rocket launcher, and I just watch him bleed out, and we just started shooting at each other for the next few cycles, and it was just hilarious. I don't exactly remember what he said, but I remember I couldn't stop laughing. I just kept hitting him. It got to a point where I just said, all right, I'm gonna put my rocket launcher away. I wanted to kill all the liquors because sometimes they would drop the red heart, and as you can see here, you can see that he equipped his rocket launcher first, and I decided to take action before he turned on me. But back to what I was saying was, I wanted to kill the liquors because they drop the red hearts, which goes for about 2,500. And I told him, yeah, let's try it. And then when we went to it, we only got about 1 or 2 hearts, and he was complaining about it. He's like, "Oh, I wasted my rocket launcher, this and that, all that for just nothing." And as you can see, here he is. He's still trying to kill me, trying to get his revenge, and I'm just... I'm not budging. And then he's like, reset, restart, restart. We're not moving on until I kill you. So, that's what happened for the next few minutes. You know, as you can see, he's pulled it out again. And I'm just going around him, ringing around the rosy. And I stun him. Yeah, this is pretty much what goes on for the next few minutes. He's like, we're not continuing until you kill me, so it's... So he's like, I got you finally. So I might do a little bit more commentary, just stick through it. So we finally, I believe, yeah, he's gonna hit me one more time. He's gonna be satisfied with that, and we're gonna continue with this section. Which you soon will see, this leads to a boss fight after dealing with the liquors. I will say this game has been a bit tiring playing on veteran. It's an experience. I've never played it on veteran. I've always played it on normal. And when I originally played it, it was on the 360. I remember I played it for I don't know how long, And there was one day I
Guess their
played
senses are
online,
weak.
which I rarely played online. I played online, and some random guy joined, and he gave me the infinite grenade.
Okay.
And it was hilarious because that's what I ended up using throughout the rest of the gameplay. And I just kept chucking grenades, and it was hilarious. I did that at the Wesker fight. And I'm being completely honest, I don't even remember beating the Wesker. I just kept chucking grenades, you know, hoping that, you know, that would do something. So yeah, here we're just holding out, doing what we can until we can get to the next area. Telling them to hurry up before these lickers get closer. I will say this one thing we did find out, hilarious enough, that, and I should have known because they're blind, flashbangs don't work on lickers. And I did bring up the idea that it should work to an amount because their hearing is what is heightened. You know, they're better at hearing. So you would think the flashbangs, the sound they produce, it would disorientate them. So here is where we walk into the heart of this facility.
Wait, that means Jill might be here.
And Chris decides to look up to see if Jill is in the system. And soon after that, there will be a cut. Not too noticeable.
What have we
Might be
done?
kind of noticeable. Because we had to step away to eat dinner. And you will see that when the quick time event happens and we're wiped out.
Jill. There's so many. They must be kidnapping people from all over the world to experiment on. It stopped.
Why?
Well, that's why.
Back. Here, it is where my brother gets distracted and dives again to the boss. We decide to, instead of like sticking around and just dealing with it, I believe he brings his rocket launcher with him and he just says we're just gonna knock it out. Which kind of was, no, I used the rocket launcher, now I remember. You'll see in a moment, I'm going to use the rocket launcher, and I even point out afterwards. You know, the rocket launcher, needed the rocket launcher and a few grenades from the grenade launcher. And it drove me nuts because I always thought, I was thinking back to like Resident Evil 4 remake or all other Resident Evils, the rocket launcher, you know, one shots. Like even in Requiem, when you're doing Leon Must Die, Gideon's Nemesis transformation, you can use one rocket and then it instantly pushes you towards the end of the boss battle where you have to do the climb up the cloud arm, hit his knees with the axe. All versions you can done one. Yeah, you know, I'll pull up the palm, directly in the mouth, then stun him here with that one, and then two more after that, directly in the mouth. Yep. And I even made the comment that, what in the world, you know, how? Well, why did it take, you know, 3 grenades and a rocket launcher? It did kind of rub me the wrong way because it was like I was hoping he'd die after the first rocket, but then he was still moving, and I'm like, oh, this is going peachy. I apologize about the yawn. Like I said, it is 2 in the morning, 20 minutes away from being 3, and I am way past my bedtime. I like to try to go to sleep early so I can have early start to the day. That's what I'm trying to say. And I got my sleeping schedule perfect at one point. It was
Where is she?
beyond perfect. It was smooth.
How
It
nice
was.
to finally make your acquaintance.
Who the hell are you?
But
Excella Gionne. She works with Tricell.
here I am messing it up
Done your
again,
homework.
which I'm not too
Officer in the Global
surprised, you know.
Pharmaceutical Consortium. Why?
As if I need to explain
Oh, I
myself
forgot
to
to
you.
label this one.
Although, weren't you two given orders to retreat?
So it was you.
Well, fun fact,
Where is Jill?
Jill, even if I did know, you think I would tell you?
Cut the crap. Tell me where she is.
As soon as you two are done with your little vigilante mission, you should leave. There's nothing here worth throwing your lives away for.
okay.
She's
Apologize.
lying. She
I was doing
knows
some
something.
checking up because we recorded.
It's time we get some answers.
Let me pull up that photo again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Me and my brother, the one that's recording 5, recorded 5 episodes. Well, 4 and a 2-parter for 1. For that cut there. And then 2 episodes for 6. They're currently they're mislabeled. I think they're mislabeled out of order. I believe. Let me double check. This is the most tiring part of the process, is seeing where I left off and where I have to edit. And if so, I'm gonna have to, yeah, okay. Have to make a announcement in the previous video. Yeah, here we're just going where we decided to restart,
So this
check our
was the
inventory,
facility Excella was talking about.
She's got us under
modify a bit.
surveillance. I can almost guarantee she sent that VOW to eliminate us.
You can ask her about that, and about Jill once we find her.
All
Yeah,
right.
I decided to
Let's
look
find
around
her
the
then.
arena a bit, see if there's any ammunition. I wanted to check something. I've noticed that after every checkpoint, after every like chapter section or every arena, the ammunition despawns even if you left something behind, and it's a bit frustrating and disappointing. And I think that's one thing I liked a lot about Requiem and 4 Remake, that you can go back in specific sections and spots, and your ammunition and items you didn't pick up are still there. That's even what I liked about, if I'm not mistaken, it's 0. I'm not sure you can do it in 1. You can drop the items. Even if you don't drop them, you can leave them and you can come back to pick them up. So sometimes you would have, you know exactly where herbs were, ammunition were, because you didn't have the most expansive storage. So you'd go and you'd be like, okay, you know what? I need some heals. I'm running past here anyway. I'm gonna pick up the green herb, use that, and then there's some ammunition here. I'm running a little bit low. Pick that up too, and then you end up where you gotta go, and then by the end of the game, you know exactly, okay, I have this much ammunition in my inventory, but there's this much in this area, this much in this area. I actually had an extensive list by the end of the time I was playing Chris. I played, I think, Chris first. I had a friend, she was talking about Resident Evil 1, and I had never played through it, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna play through it. You know, she's playing through Jill because she wanted it easy. I'm doing Chris. Screw it. I was that kind of guy. I wanted to be the better. I wanted to be better. You know, I wanted to do the Homelander. I'm better. It's fast. I'm smart. You know, it wasn't just that either. You know, I thought she was cool. We talked a lot about Resident Evil while we were at work, and then we talked a lot about it while on Discord and stuff. So I got on. I played it. I beat it that same. I want to say around that same day, not day, but same week, maybe 2-3 days it took me, and I made a list. The longest time I still had that list. That's the point where I said there's no reason for me to still have it. But yeah, I had a list, and it marked, you know, what rooms, what items, and I made sure to follow back if I needed it. And I literally, when I got to the final fight with the Tyrant, I think all I had to do was use the Magnum. That's how much Magnum ammunition I had. I just shot him in the face with the Magnum so many times, and it was like, the fight was over. Which I bragged about. I'm gonna be completely honest, I bragged about it because it was like I didn't use much. I dodged a lot of zombies, which was hilarious, just slipping through and slipping by. There's even a point where it's like when I did do Jill, there's that one room, that bedroom, where a zombie is on the ground and then there's one in the closet. So I somehow was able to slip past both of them. The one that was coming out of the closet was still on the floor. The one that was got up jumped into the closet. So I dodged him, and then the one that came out the closet finally came up, and then I was able to dodge him when he was walking towards, I don't know exactly where it is. I still got the clip saved. It was when I originally played on the Xbox. I was playing on the Xbox. I primarily played on Xbox. I was primarily an Xbox user, which I kind of hate moving away from it because I had a larger library on Xbox when it came to my games. I know hard to say how many games I had, and I bought a lot digitally, mostly because I had the digital Xbox, I had the Series S, and Microsoft had a lot of amazing deals at some points. You know, you get on and you'd be like, okay, you know, let me see what's on sale, and then you see like, you know, a collection of games on sale. You get all these games, you get all the games in this franchise, 20-30 bucks, and then it's about, you know, 3-4 games, all could be over 20-30 hours of content, and it's like, that's not a bad deal. You know, there was even a point where it's like even games that there were like 20 bucks. You know, they're not 60, 80, 60, 70% off, and I would buy them. So now I'm playing more PlayStation. I like the feel of the controllers. Plus, I love the limited edition controllers. I honestly collect them, and I know it's kind of hilarious to think about. Like I got the, I think it's the 40th or 30th anniversary, 35th anniversary of the blue one that you could pick up at Walmart. I got 2 of those. One sits away, not being like played with or anything. I got 2 of the Ghostly Yote Gold. I would love to get my hands on the black one. I have 1 of the Genshin Impacts, and my friend gifted me his PS5. He had gotten a used God of War Ragnarok controller, the one that is blue, white, and has like the wolves on the DualSense pad, trackpad. And for being used, it was in good condition. I didn't see much scratches. Analog sticks are perfect. I did notice an issue with the battery at first. It felt like it drained faster. Hasn't happened again. It doesn't hold battery, excuse me, as well as the other controllers, which isn't like terrible. I mean, it doesn't like drain like that, but it does drain noticeably a bit faster. But after doing, you know, a little bit of really looking at it, cleaning out the crevices where the skin can accumulate, and then using a little bit of isopropyl alcohol, not a lot, with a Q-tip, you know, rubbing at some certain areas, the controller looks nearly brand new, surprisingly. And over the years, that's actually what I've been doing more to try to take care of my controllers, because of course drift is terrible, and it happens. It can happen casually, even if you don't drop the controller, even if you don't abuse the controller. I used to play through the Yakuza series. I played through 0, 1, Kiwami 1, Kiwami 2, and part of 3, back to back. Now you'll see all the VODs on my channel, and eventually I will be uploading actual videos. You can see, you know, how long that game took me, and I streamed some of these. I streamed for, you know, straight hours on that one day, and it was unhealthy. I'll be completely honest. I had a friend that enabled me, but after all that, my controller got drift on its own, and you know, that wasn't casual use. That was more of a, you know, extensive use on this. But I'm not sure how long I had the controller, but you know, the drift was noticeable after playing it that long, you know, holding the analog stick straight while running. So I think just that wear and tear of the controller finally said, F it, you haven't treated me well these, you know, these past few days. You're not even treating yourself well, so I've been trying to take a little bit more careful, better care. Even now when I'm playing and I don't use the analog stick too often, I notice it, I'm like, let me pull back and be a little more gentle. So, as you can see here, we're just, you know, moving through the facility, trying to get to the next area. I'm trying to be careful. There's multiple times where he pushes forward and I'm like, why are you pushing forward? And I get a bit frustrated, get a bit pissed, because it's like, you know, these guys got rifles. What do you expect? They're going to gun you down when you pop your face. You know, I'm mostly sticking to the long, you know, far away with the sniper, as I, you know, enjoy it. There, you know, right there when I hit that grenade, I'm like, what the hell did I hit? I must have hit one of the big red tankers. Later on, I do notice that some of them have grenades on their chest, so they can have a rifle, a stun rod, but if you're too far, they'll try to get you closer or get you out of your hiding spot with a grenade. And if you hit the grenade on their chest, they'll blow up. Fun fact, they'll even blow up if you hit them with the stun rod, which my brother found that out when he was playing, and he was trying to fend them off, and he hit one of them, and he died. And I'm like, I'm not near you, man. You'll see that in the next, later on.
Come on! Come on!
It was kind of funny. I got kind of pissed. I was like, what the hell is wrong with you? I was like, I told you not to. He was like, yeah, it's too late. I was already swinging. I'm like, you know what? I'm not saying anything. So, here, if I'm not mistaken, yeah, this one's a little bit longer, because with the Wesker part,
You know that voice.
It's Excella.
I was dealing with a personal thing, looking at my phone, buddy of mine was pissing me off.
What?
And the countdown hit 0 and it kicked us out. So
Shit,
instead of continuing
Wesker.
from dealing with just
Thought he was
Jill,
dead.
we had to redo Wesker, then Jill. And that one had me tweaking. Like so bad. I'm not sure if that's this episode. But we'll find out. Trying to remember where we are exactly. I think this might be before the Uroboros fight. Yeah, here I just thought, just run. Just run. Leave things alone. Actually, the Uroboros fight would have been before. I'm not 100% sure. No, we're not. We haven't done that part yet. Here, you know, he makes it by, and then somehow I gets hit. You'll see in a moment. Like, see, boom, uppercutted. And I'm like, that's bullshit. That's not fair. You know.
Come on!
We've been doing the running tactic, you know, using that better, because it's like we don't always have enough ammunition and things. There's just, yeah. Here's another moment where he steps away and I have to move on without him. No, not move. I have to move him. So when that point comes up, I will speed it up so that way you're not just watching my character sitting AFK. Yeah, I think right here is where it is. Right? No, he jumped down. He's gonna go try to fight them, he dies, and then after that, after he respawn, he has to step away. And I'm like, where did you go? And I'm like, oh, there he is. And I try to take him out with a sniper like I always do. And like right there, I was like, wow, I hit that guy in the head by shooting that guy in the chest. And you can see some of them have flash grenades, some of them have regular grenades. So it's interesting. Because I didn't notice right away. I was like, what the hell is doing that? Why are we getting blown up? So when I finally figured that out, I was like, man, you know, okay, let's keep an eye on them so that way we don't get, you know, murdered.
Hold on!
Yeah, I still can't get over the fact that my OBS did not pick up any of my mic audio. I'm gonna start trying to have a secondary device pick up the audio so that way I can have some sort of transcript I can use as somewhat of a guide, you know, letting me know exactly what was happening, you know, what I said, what was done. Makes it easier on me. Okay. Okay, here I speed up the game a bit. I'm speeding up the video a bit because this is where he steps away and I have to, you know, move on and move forward. I'm like, okay, this door, I need him. I can't move any much further. So I work on my inventory a bit and see what I need, what I can grab, what I can give away, what I can drop. And I wait for a moment and I'm like, okay, he's not coming back right away. So I grab his controller and I start moving him. You can't see it, of course, on my screen. But I start moving him, check my inventory a bit, then I move forward because he's stuck, his character's stuck, so I move him, pull the lever again. Then he comes in, I hand him his ammunition, he heals him, he heal us. And then I'm like, okay, you know what, there's some boxes, there's some guy throwing stuff, I can kill this guy. And he's dead. He drops something, I'm like, oh, let me go grab it. And while I'm grabbing it, I also see that there's a few boxes that I missed on the other side, a red herb as well. So I go grab that first, grab the box, grab the red herb, then I head back, just basic, you know, running back, doing random BS. Try to hand him the item through here, which, you know, you would think, you know, she'd bend over and grab it. No. So now I gotta jump down, go all the way back, hand her the red herb for now. Then I gotta go back down, grab the machine gun ammo. Also break the boxes I think I saw. No, I didn't see any of the boxes. Okay. Go back, trade the red herb. Oh, no, I think I just give him the machine gun ammo for now. And I head up there, open the door, then I use my map to kind of guide me because I got tired of turning around and having the fan hit my mic. Which, as you can see, doesn't matter. You know, my mic didn't pick up shit. Here, I wipe them out, do what I gotta do, merge some ammunition, ask for the red herb, give him my sniper ammo, combine the red and green herb, grab my rifle ammo back, and then I push forward. Here, make sure there's nobody above me. Then I take out what I can from back here, because, you know, they're chucking bombs, they're blowing up that one up there that had 2 people. I got one person to where people show up, I shoot them down, instead of blowing up the ones that are on the thing. As you can see, you know, they love to dodge. One guy threw something. There you go, there's the 2 I was talking about. I backed up so I didn't want to get hit one in the chest with the bomb. Kept shooting down and kept dodging, but he died. There's a few shield guys, move them up, make sure they didn't drop anything. Grab what I can. Select the lever. I'm not sure if my brother was back by then, but I moved him. Yeah, I moved him. He's not back till later. Here you see I'm picking up stuff in his inventory. Turn around, make sure there's nothing I can pick. I shoot the egg, making sure they don't break. And then here, I slowed it down because I read some lore, and I think he gets back and he's like, "Where the hell am I?" Which, you know, funny enough, you know, I moved him really well, did a lot. So here I might speed up some more. It's just more conveyor belt stuff. We bully the bug, and then we die, do it all over again, and this time we push the bug into the fire instead. So let me get there. Let me get to that point.
Missiles?
Why would they need these, do you think?
Maybe they're planning to start a war.
So after we flick the levers, we bring back power, you know, bump into the big bug. And I'm like, alright, let's just push past it. Why not? You know, there's no real reason to fight it. And then, you know, I saw I could bully it. I thought it was hilarious, so you know, we push forward, keep bullying it. You know. And funny enough, you'll see the bug's AI knows where to walk. They walk on the center when they're running this way. And as you can see, pulls him off the back. We just watch him for a moment, shoot him. You know, we're talking about why isn't he dying? And then I realized there's that carapace that opens up. Did we do the right damage? I thought, oh, there's a lever. Maybe we should flick it, you know, stop him. And then I was joking. My brother's like, oh, nope. No, I'm not joking. He flicks it, so we come to the stairs. We just start beating him. Shoot him. He meets in the corner. As you can see, he gets stuck for a while. And I just watch. And we just start laughing, talking shit. And I'm like, what in the world? Why is he not dying? What are we doing wrong? Shot him in the head. Nothing. Shooting at him again. Shot him in the head again. I'm like, okay, what the hell? Shot him in the arm. Shot him in the arm. And after a while, it's like, okay, I'm out of munition. And on this side, I start beating him up too. We just start beating him up, and it's like, how is he not dying? How is he not dying? How is he not dying? Come on, come on. Kind of hilarious. And then he finally turns, and then he instantly kills my brother. Instantly. He got tired of the bully. It was bullying. It was hilarious. So I bought a few acid rounds, so I'm thinking, okay, maybe acid round is his weakness. And I trade out I forget what I trade out. Yeah, I trade out the handgun. No, I traded out the sniper. Yeah, I traded out the handgun. Traded out the handgun ammo. Eventually I trade out the handgun fully. It's like the handgun doesn't do much. Here my brother keeps pushing forward, and he actually pushes directly into the bug and gets instantly murdered. And I'm like, why did you run up to the bug to give him a kiss? Like, dude, come on. It was funny. I was roasting him because it was like, come on, dude. Really? You know he one-shots you. Why are you gonna run up directly into his area just so he can get murdered? You know? Here we bully it a bit, try to get around it, and then I'm like, okay, you know what? Just bring it to the conveyor belt. Not to the wrong conveyor belt. Tell him bring it to the conveyor belt. Maybe we can blow him up. We learned the hard way. It doesn't affect him. And I start, I'm like, oh shit, he's coming. He's not phased. He's not phased. He's going to kill us. So I try to stun him so he can get stuck in the lava, get stuck in the fire. And I'm like, you know what? Let's do the other one, the conveyor belt, and that one's faster. You know, I realized my mistake, realized how stupid I was. So, like I said, we head back. we reload. We're gonna, we're gonna do it differently. Here we go. We run past the bug, stun the bug, run past him. And my brother's like, oh no, stop. And he's like, oh no, I'm good. Because he got body blocked for a moment. Pull a lever. I hear him coming up on me. Flash him again. Turn it down. And here I go. I stun him. And then boom. Instant. So I'll make sure we grab both pendants from the corpses. And here we see a fun fact. Whatever falls on the belt, whatever's on the belt recycles, like it respawns. Like you can see the zombie that jumped on my brother, he's on that other zombie still. The pendant that was dropped by the bug was still on the conveyor belt. So it was an interesting little thing. I thought, okay, it's in the fire. I'm not gonna see it. I'm not upset. At least we're done with that bug. We don't have to deal with him. Granted, we do have to deal with more of them later on, and we do take care of them easier than we did here. So, cool. Now we do end up in the Uroboros area. I was right about it. This fight, I am going to speed up maybe by the last two parts were speed up by 300%, 3x. I might speed this one up by 2, maybe 3. We fight it normally for a while until we get to the end. We're running out of ammunition. We're rarely doing good, and you will see throughout the arena we pick up ammunition. There's a lot of ammunition in the arena, and I was like, okay, let me go in with nothing if he's going to use his if he uses his rocket launcher the second time, because nothing stays. There's 2 first aid spread, 30 to 60, 30 to 40 shotgun ammo, maybe 60 handgun ammo, or close to 100 and some machine gun ammo, maybe 20 to 30 sniper rounds, rifle rounds. I'm not exactly sure, but it was, up to the max of what could drop. Here we restart so I can, go in with less items so I can pick up as much as I can. I was frustrated because I was like, wait, he still shot it. It's like, and then he's like, why? And when we reloaded into the next chapter, none of the ammunition, none of the healths were there, and I was pissed. Not with him, but mostly with the game design. It's like, it was there just moments ago. Why can I not pick it up? It should be a benefit if I didn't use, all my ammunition. I should be allowed to pick it up and use it later on in the game. So that's one thing that pissed me off. That's one thing that had me a bit tweaking. As much as I wanted to get angry at him, he didn't know. I brought it up, but because he's always in his own little world sometimes, or sometimes he blocks me out when I do bring it up. It's not his fault. I wasn't angry with him. I was mostly just angry primarily at the game design. And I even noticed here it's like, oh, maybe we won't have flame. This is a spawn. Same item, same incendiary grenade, rifle ammo, flame rounds, handgun ammo. I knew that. I had a feeling that this was a set spawn for these items. Certain times when you reload, the items are randomized, but this seemed like a set spawn. It was the same amount of items, same amount of stuff. And I was like, okay, I'm not too upset. Here we encounter Estelle and encounter an Uroboros creature that was like the first one we encountered in the incinerator, but
Sheva.
more in tune with the virus. I'll let this play out. I'll cut it. And then I'll cut back in.
Well,
Then speed up.
glad you could make it. Up here, you two.
Excella, where's Jill?
Jill. You're like a broken record, you know that? Just as single-minded as he said. You've spent so long trying to track down Uroboros. Well, here, enjoy.
So Uroboros is a new DOW, and you're planning on selling it to terrorists.
Good guess, but no. While it does resemble the BOWs based on the progenitor virus, I have no intention of selling it to terrorists.
Then what are you using it for?
Evolution. It's a philosopher's stone, one that will choose through DNA who shall proceed to the next stage. My vision and his combined, now made a reality.
Evolution? What are you talking about?
Oh, you'll find out soon enough. Everyone will. Too bad. Looks like he wasn't worthy. Only the chosen ones are fit for the coming new world.
Excella, wait!
So here starts the Uroboros fight. As you can see, I set it up as I can, get the tanker down, use the tanker. But as you can see, there's a lot of ways to fight. It will swing, extend, and send part of its Uroboros towards you, and it does like it does previously. It will disperse and then pull back up. There's a flamethrower that you can use, but as you can see, the further we get in, it just doesn't seem like it does enough. Plus, with us being so low at certain points, we just didn't feel safe to try to get up close and personal. Here, I'm like, it's over here on this side. Look, keep an eye. He's like, where? I'm like, there. I picked up the flamethrower. He got hit. We were running around, wasting ammunition, using ammunition like crazy. It got to a point where I'm just like, how tanky is he? What are we doing wrong now? So at one point, I'm like, maybe we gotta, hit the wedge 3 points, pop off his head, hit his head. We weren't sure. I hadn't played this boss in years. And like I said, you see 20 shotgun ammo. I think there's 2 stacks of that, so there's 40 in the arena. And while I was looking back, it wasn't that I was angry that I didn't get my ammunition. I was a bit angry because I didn't get the ammunition. I also set up. And here you can see I dodged, but I still got hit. But I set up, I got a lot of flame rounds, got some acid rounds. I got rid of my arm, bulletproof melee vest. So I had more ammunition, because it's like he's not shooting at us. And if I can keep dodging, it's like I'm not going to take that much damage from melee. So here I am, I'm playing and running back and forth. I was going to take that back and reload it, recharge it, because it was, low on ammunition. Here I'm like, oh, there's a med health there, I go grab it. He's like, where? I'm like, there. And he's like, go grab it. So I'm like, break the glass. He breaks the glass, we grab it. And, I'm using all the ammunition I can. I'm running around, waiting for it to recharge. It recharges, so I wait till he moves. My A can pull him that way. I grab it, turn, he's not running toward me, distracted. I'm like, oh, he's not distracted. And he turns back at me. I was like, okay, I'm hoping to stay down on him when he turns the corner, so that way I can just unload onto his flamethrower. And I'm like, oh, I thought you were going to keep running that way. So he can follow you. Get it. So it's like right now we're just staying together, trying to do as much damage as we can. And it was just painful. I'm gonna be completely honest, it was painful. Anytime you get hit by Uroboros, you get little Uroboros like tendrils. Little tendrils are stuck all over you. And they drain your health slowly. I thought it was some machine enemy over here. I just sidestep so you can see where I was. And I was like, where? I'm like, I step back again. I'm like, right there. And like I said, there's a point that you will see that we are down to quite literally spit and blood. We had nothing left, and here I am standing waiting for this to recharge. I grab it instantly, and then I start unloading. And I'll be honest, I'm actually kind of happy the audio got, corrupted or whatever, because I was simping hard for Estelle. And plus, it's crazy, if you look closely, for being a game from, Resident Evil 5, they animated they animated that they slightly added physics to Estelle's chest, which is I never noticed. And I'm looking. It's like, was that a slight jiggle, slight sway that moves on their own, not with her? And I told my brother, he's like, wait, what? And he looked closer, and he's like, yeah. I'm like, in the years I've played, I've never noticed that she had physics. And it's fun to think, because it's like, you know, you think about games, and it's like, you know, you don't see that first. You don't point that out first. And here I am pointing it out. But yeah, as you can see, I'm here. I'm trying to shoot his head off, try to shoot the head moving. He's unloading flamethrower. It got to a point where we felt like we were doing Jack Diddley squat, even though we were unloading on him, you know. And then we get to a point where we die. I went to go try to revive him. I decided to try to run past him because I thought there was enough of a crevice, and I was wrong. I was entirely wrong. And as disappointing as it was, I was like, okay, that's fine. Let's just prepare better, get more damage at all, you know. Get more items, I'll do more damage. But my brother was sick of the fight, and he just brought the rocket launcher. Even he says it.
Cleanup personnel must incinerate all contaminated materials.
That's the same type of bioweapon.
He even says that it sucks that it's crazy that all I had to do was bring the rocket, and the fight was over. So here I'm unloading and boom, there goes the rocket. Fight over. It was hilarious. So this is the end of this episode. You know, I was bragging, I was messing with him about my accuracy, because, you know, I had more kills, better accuracy, and as we went on, we realized it's mostly because I've been going for headshots non-stop. But yeah, and this is where I was giving him shit about the ammunition, about the weapons, and he's like, I was ready, and he's like, and then I gave him shit about the ammunition. He's like, oh no, we can load in. And he's like, what are you talking about? So when you'll see, we'll load in, and I'll try to show him what I was talking about. That none of the ammunition that you would have gotten when you fought him naturally was there. And I'll still give him some shit about that, because it was like, yeah, it's a bit frustrating. It is a bit frustrating because he got ammunition, but it wasn't his fault. It's a game design, intentional game design that kind of blows. So here we do, you know, pointed it out. You know, we're going to continue because we were already way past the hour mark.
Something about
I currently, with all editing, I cut it down to an hour and 20 instead of the 2 hours it was.
Getting out of here and infecting people.
So you see I'm pointing it out, no heals, no ammunition. They're like, look at this, look at that, look at that. And he's like, shut up, jokingly. So yeah, here, you know, I hit restart. I'm like, I just ended here, you know, I got to do a lot of editing anyway. And he's like, okay. And I'll do the outro, you know, say, thank you all for watching, hope you enjoyed, and I'll catch you on the next video, and, you know, hit with the basic bye-bye, you know, while I'm still talking with him. But yeah, it was, this episode was interesting. As you can see, you know, there was the liquors, there was me and my brother fighting each other, there was the Uroboros fight, the giant crab creature, crab-like creature as well. But yeah, it was a lot of fun, and I'm hoping this minor commentary here and there fills the silence. Again, I apologize for the corrupted audio.